2025 is going to be a magnificent, huge year for Jordan Brand. Well, it looks to be that way, but for me, it is the year of the Jordan 5. It is the 35th year anniversary of the shoe. Some very anticipated colorways are coming back. Black Metallic Reimagined, Fire Red, Grape, all coming back. It's going to be delicious. It's going to be fun. But first, before that, I want to go over some of the Jordan 5s that are currently under retail that you can get. You can save some money, get a bargain, still come away with a very, very nice looking shoe. Now, the Jordan 5 is my favorite sneaker of all time, so maybe I'm a little bit biased and I'm trying not to include like every single under retail Jordan 5 on this list. I actually kept this list to just 7 shoes, and I try to keep like just Jordan 5s that came out pretty recently, where if you do happen to buy it on like the resale market or like a retail store, it would still be in pretty good condition. You don't have to worry about the midsoles like kind of cracking or bottoming out. And disclaimer, I want to say under retail means majority of the sizes are below what they retail at. So if a shoe came out for $210 and sizes like 6 to 12 were under retail, like $180, that would qualify. Sometimes you get the big sizes where limited quantities were produced, so the supply was like really, really low. That might always be over retail. Don't get mad at me. I'm going off the majority of sizes. So if you have size 14 feet and one of the shoes on this list is like $270, and every other size is like $160, still under retail. Maybe not for you, but like for most other people. And I'm sorry, you have big feet. At least it probably means you're very tall. You win in life. Here we go. And at number 7, it is the Jordan 5 Sail. Now, when the images of this shoe first came out, I was super excited. I thought the colorway was really nice. I usually don't love when they stick Sail randomly on a shoe, but when the whole upper is Sail, when it's like one color, that doesn't bother me too much. And I thought it was a very clean and just really nice, simple shoe. But then I got them in hand, and the nubuck on the shoe was just like super synthetic, which isn't exactly like unusual for Jordan Brand to do. They do that on some shoes back in the 90s. They used Durabuck. They stopped that due to environmental concerns with the material. They started using their own synthetic nubuck, but the feel and touch of that shoe was just super synthetic, and I did not love how it felt. But if you don't mind that, if you don't really care about the genuineness of the material of the shoe, I think this colorway is really good. Yeah, just a very, very simple shoe, not much to say about it. You can also like opt for the reverse black metallic, whatever name they call it. That actually came out last year as well. That's a pretty similar looking shoe, pretty nice and clean as well. Doesn't get me super excited, but that also is under retail. And at number 6, it is the Jordan 5 Jade Horizon. Now, I think this may be quite an uncommon opinion. I might be one of 100 people in the world that actually likes this colorway, that really like the colorway. Someone once said on, I can't remember if it was like an Instagram post or something, where they mentioned color reminds them of puke. I can't unsee it, but I can't ignore it because I still think this colorway is really nice. I think maybe I just have an affinity to like that jade green color, but it's so different, it really stands out, but I still think it's quite wearable. The yellow is quite yellow on the soles of the shoe, and I wish they would just dial back the yellow a bit, but I think just overall as a package, it is so unique. You don't see this kind of color very often. I think it works, and if you strongly disagree about this shoe being on this list, I don't blame you. I really have not met another person that actually liked this colorway, but I do, and it's my list, so it's on here. And at number 5, it is the Jordan 5 Alternate Bel Air. And of course, this is going to be compared to the gray pair and the gold Friends and Family pair. But I will say, just give me a minute. Just look at the shoe like in a vacuum. Very, very clean. And you still actually get the theme of the shoe. Like, it does come through with the purple and the green kind of funky colors, the black tongue and the patterns that you see on the ankle collar lining. But the upper of the shoe is still very wearable, just white. I'm not sure why this shoe is under retail. I think the Jade Horizons, I can see why a lot of people don't like it. It's very much like subjective, but this colorway, logically, I can't see why people would dislike it. Maybe it's not like their favorite, but not liking it, and enough where the market says this isn't even good enough for people to pay at retail. I don't quite understand. And at number 4, it is the Jordan 5 Dunk on Mars. Came out in, was it 2023? Or 2024, I think it was 2023. It was a woman's exclusive. It was a tribute to Spike Lee's Mars Blackman, and some people call this like the poor man's version of the Toro Bravos, a very popular colorway on the Jordan 5. Came on the Jordan 6 as well. I think it's just as good. Honestly, it's like a shade different. It's like more orange than red. I love how the shark teeth looks on this shoe. Got the 23 treatment on the side, and the materials, the suede on the shoe was really nice as well. Overall as a package, maybe it might be too loud. That's why people didn't really go for it. Or a lot of people may already have the Toro Bravos, so they didn't really feel the need to grab a shoe that's so similar. But all of that aside, just on the shelf as a shoe, I think it looks great. I had the shoe, and recently when I moved, for some reason, I can no longer find it. It is nowhere. I don't know if I just got lost, or like I stored it in some box somewhere and thought it was trash, threw it out, or it's still somewhere out in the ether, but I lost it. I'm pretty bummed. But the good news is, if I had to get it again, yeah, I can get it on a discount. Now, number 3, it is the Jordan 5 Burgundy that retroed very recently. This colorway is not an OG colorway. It originally dropped in 2006. It was part of the Lifestyle series where you had like the Jordan 4 Thunder, actually another shoe that's part of this list. And the Burgundy, I know a lot of people associate it with Armand Manere, got a lot of Burgundy, Violet Ore shoes. But before that, it was the Jordan 5 Burgundy. And look at it. This color, this kind of shade of purple, it just screams luxury. It really does. There's something about it that just makes it more upscale, just makes it more elegant. Icy outsole, always a winner on Jordan 5. Stream tongue, of course. The dark gray laces, that doesn't stand out too much. Harder to pull off, kind of loud, but it looks great. And again, I'm kind of dumbfounded that it is under retail for so many different sizes of this shoe. It's not too hard to find. The materials were pretty nice as well. As popular as Armand Manere shoes have been, I know they've kind of been declining in terms of like popularity recently, but generally most of their shoes are very popular. And they use heavily that burgundy, maybe not as dark as this, but like a similar family. So I'm not sure why when this shoe came back, people didn't love them, because I definitely did. Maybe that's just my Jordan 5 bias. A lot of colors can look great on this shoe to me, but yeah, this is outstanding. And at number 2, it is the Jordan 5 Olive. Just like the Jordan 5 Burgundy, it is another shoe as part of the 2006 Lifestyle series. Came back very recently as well. I have a personal affinity to olive. I explain why in one of my videos, the Jordan 4 Olive. If you want to know exactly why I love olive, check out that video. But this is great. One of the best shoes to come out last year, I think. I just missed my top 10 sneakers of the year, and the materials on that shoe is really nice. The orange is my big nitpick about that colorway. A little too pumpkin-y, Halloween-y. It kind of sticks out a bit too much. But in terms of just the olive upper, ooh, delicious. I actually prefer if this shoe was just like all olive, or like maybe white and olive, with hints of white here and there, or black. I think that would have looked really nice. And again, just like the Jordan 5 Burgundy, not sure why people aren't like clamoring and this shoe isn't sold out everywhere, but that's good for people that actually like this shoe. Grab it on a discount, because it is definitely worth it. And at number 1, this is very shocking to me, because when this came out, I thought it was, yeah, one of the best shoes to come out that year. It was on my top 10 sneakers of the year list. It is the Armand Manere Jordan 5 Dawn. Now, 2 colorways of the Jordan 5 came out for Armand Manere that year, the Dusk and Dawn, and I think the Dawn was just slightly better. I love that use of diffused blue, something you don't see too often from Armand Manere. It's kind of like their secondary color. You're gonna see a Jordan 3 diffused blue coming up in 2025. But yeah, this overall as a package was great. Came with like full nubuck on the shoe, didn't have the very puffy ankles. Some special collaborations get that treatment, like the DJ We The Best, that didn't have the puffy ankles. Obviously storytelling and branding everywhere, just like every other Armand Manere shoe. I think they did a great job. And even without all the outstanding kind of details and unpackaging experience of this shoe, I think just standalone, even if it was a general release, it is still delicious. And I think the fact that this shoe is under retail is kind of like a microcosm of where sneakers are right now, because 5 years ago, I really think this shoe would have been like $400 on the resale market, $300 at least. I definitely think it would not be under retail, and that's a good thing, because such an outstanding shoe should be approachable and gettable and acquirable for people that actually want it. And if you want to reward yourself at the beginning of 2025 and you're a fan of Jordan 5s and you don't want to spend too much money, I can't recommend this one enough. It is worth it. It really is. So that's it. Thanks for watching. So inclined. Let me know what Jordan 5s I missed on the under retail list. Like, subscribe, comment, all the good stuff. And remember, tomorrow may never come, so wear your shoes.